So far, we are 0 for 2 on completing Easter eggs with bots. Both 9 and Dead of the Night were impossible to complete. But I've got one more map that I haven't finished yet, Ancient Evil, and I'm hoping that this will be the one. I watched some guides, and there are some steps that I'm not so sure I'll be able to do, but there's only one way to find out for sure. For my loadout, I chose to spawn with a Mog 12, which I plan to use for the whole match, and I equipped the Join the Party elixir so that I could respawn the bots if I had to kill them for any of the steps. I also made sure that I was always playing as either Bruno or Shaw, because there is a step that requires those characters specifically, and the bots probably wouldn't be able to do it themselves. When we were ready, we started our first match, but I had the wrong class selected, so we restarted. After acquiring the Sentinel artifact, the first step of this Easter egg is to ignite the Eternal Flame, which is done by completing tributes. When you redeem a reward from the tributes, you earn a hidden point value. Each tier gives you different amounts of points, but the only one worth remembering is the Epic tier, which is worth 6 points. You need to earn 9 points for every player in the game, which for 4 players is a total of 36 points, so we needed to redeem 6 epic rewards to ignite the Eternal Flame. When you play with real people, each person could be redeeming rewards to get this step done faster, but the bots do not help with this. Actually, they make it even harder because of all their kill stealing, so this part is a real grind. Some of the challenges, like getting kills with special weapons, are easy enough and increase the reward pretty fast, but most of them, like holding position in certain areas or not taking damage, just take up a lot of time and make this step very tedious. It took 30 rounds, but we finally got it done. I also got the hands of Charon and Hemera while working on these tributes, so we could jump right into the next few steps. And thankfully, with the exception of a few of them, the rest of this Easter egg is actually really easy. I lit the beacons, looked the dead in the eye, and aligned the citizens by the next round. I next obtained the Hand of Gaia to shoot these runes, but this is where a problem presented itself. I couldn't get the Giganese to use his shield blast against the crystal, and because of how tight and hectic this area is, I ended up going down here and the bots didn't want to revive me. Not that it would have mattered because the Giganese was destroying them anyway. And so, this first attempt would end here. But surprisingly, this match was only an hour and 25 minutes. Even though it felt a lot longer. Probably because of how tedious it is to do these tributes, but so far this Easter egg seemed to be doable. I made some adjustments to my loadout and jumped into the next game. This run would go a lot smoother. I started the tributes earlier and focused on them more than the hands, but in some instances I was able to do both at the same time. I got the Eternal Flame done a couple of rounds earlier, but unfortunately I would die at the exact same point as the last game. Almost on the same round too. So for the next game, the plan was to kill off the bots with the pool trap so that I could have an easier time managing the Giganese, but after I had killed them, I discovered that the Ankh had already been knocked down. I think this is the only time the bots have done an Easter egg step for me. But with the bots already dead, I figured this would be a good time to do the sundial. I managed to save 3 electric catalysts, but I messed up the timing for this step twice, so I was going to have to try again next round. I was worried that it was going to be really challenging with the bots killing everything, but these catalysts spawn much more frequently during this step, so it actually wasn't that bad. I also did the infamous Raw step on this round, one of the most hated Easter egg steps to do in solo. Now, I wasn't playing solo, but I also wasn't playing with people I could coordinate with, so I wasn't exactly sure how this was going to go. We failed on the first try, but that was just the practice run, and we got it done on the second try. It was a little rough, but overall this part's not that bad with 3 other bots. Next up is the Hit Your Mark step, which is one of those steps I was worried about because it requires all players to participate. When I first went up there, the light on the floor didn't appear, so I was worried that this was the end of the run, but just to be certain, I killed off the bots with the acid trap, and once they were out of the game, I was able to do the step by myself. This is probably the easiest part of the whole Easter egg, especially with the Hand of Oranos, and the game even gives you some ammo when you get too low, basically guaranteeing that you can get it done. After that, the Easter egg is nearly complete, but there is still some stuff to do that may cause trouble. After shooting the symbols on this door, whoever's playing as Shaw and Bruno need to interact with it. I was Bruno, but when I approached the door it would say waiting for Stanton, which was concerning. Kay Akin here was playing as Shaw, and he wasn't going to interact with the door, but thankfully he didn't need to. He just had to be close to it, which allowed me to trigger the cutscene. While we were in the room, the other bots sort of just waited outside the door and attracted all the zombies to it. Luckily my hammer was ready, otherwise I may have died here. We had Pegasus raise up the ballista, I aligned it with the Hand of Oranos, and fired it with the green Eternal Flame, opening the portal to the boss fight. At this point there was just one last hurdle. Could we even enter the boss fight? When I approached it, it said waiting for other players, so maybe it functions like that door, where they just have to be close enough. This was devastating. So I did the whole thing over again. Keep in mind, I wasn't even sure that we could enter the arena. For all I knew, it was going to be like 9 and just not work. I set myself up by the portal and waited for the other 3 to get close, and when they did, it actually worked. We had entered the boss fight. Now, I would like to tell you that it went great and I beat it on the first try, but that's not what happened. At the beginning, I didn't realize that there's a Giganese to kill on each island, so I wasted a lot of time just waiting for Pegasus to appear. Once I killed them and Pegasus did show up, the bots didn't really help to shoot it. They actually really struggled to stay alive. They'd often just stand in the fire and lightning until they went down, and then the others would go down trying to revive them. I tried to keep them alive, but there was only so much that I could do, and after about 45 minutes of this, the match would end in failure. This boss fight might be hectic, but at least now I know for sure that it can be done. So I continued to improve my strategy. I tried different perks and elixirs, I started killing bots so I could finish the tributes faster, I equipped the Scepter of Ra for reviving and for the melee glitch, and I even started putting attachments on my guns. Unfortunately, nothing was working, and after several failed attempts at this boss fight, each of which took 2 to 3 hours, I finally decided to reduce the number of bots to just 1. And look who it is. Also, for some reason, Toda here got the green point counter instead of blue, and I was very curious about that. So let's go on a little tangent and figure out why that happened. It turns out that when you remove the bots from the lobby, it removes them in the order that they joined, and the one that joined as player 4 is still considered player 4, which is why they get the green points. You can also get them to be yellow, and in a 3-player game, you can get the other 2 to be yellow and green. It does cause some glitches in the HUD, but overall it's just a silly little visual bug. Anyway, tangent over. Everything went about the same as a 4-player match, except the Eternal Flame was lit after redeeming 3 epic rewards instead of 6, and the raw part of Scepter and Sundial was way harder, so I sorta just used a glitch to do it. We made it back to the boss fight, but unfortunately we would still fail. I got Pegasus to fall onto another island, but the launcher was recharging and we both went down trying to use it. So I would do the whole Easter egg and reach the boss fight once again, but this time with Hogat. And I don't know what happened, but everything sorta just went right this time. After taking out the Giganese, we were able to shoot down Pegasus multiple times. Even Hogat managed to do it once. For once, my Scepter wasn't at level 3, so I could actually use that melee glitch to maximize my damage output. Hogat did go down quite a bit, but I just kept using the Scepter to revive him and then quickly recharged it using the flames. There were a couple times that he did die, but the round changes each time Pegasus falls, so he just respawned. There were quite a few close calls, but after knocking him down 4 times, I had finally defeated Pegasus. All that was left now was Perseus, and I wasn't sure what to expect. He stood atop Mount Olympus and threw his spears down at Hogat and I, but I just kept moving to stay alive. But Hogat was struggling to stay up, forcing me to use the Scepter to keep him in the fight. From time to time, Perseus would come down to our island to throw a barrage of spears, which we just barely managed to survive, but this also gave us the opportunity to return fire, and eventually he became vulnerable. The first time I used the Scepter's melee glitch to do a ton of damage, but not enough to kill him. We repeated the whole process until he became vulnerable again, but there was a problem. During the fight, my Scepter had leveled up to tier 3, preventing me from doing the melee glitch. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to do enough damage, but I had no other options. The next time he became vulnerable, I attacked him with the Scepter's regular melee attack as much as I could.
Sure, you are full of surprises. Some of them unpleasant. No! This cannot be! I am the son of Zeus! See what happens when you rise above your station?
And finally, after all these games of Ancient Evil, after all these games of doing tributes, all these games of upgrading hands, all these games of managing the bots, Perseus was dead, and the Easter egg was complete. Do I wish that I could have done it with 3 bots instead of just 1? Yeah, that would have been way cooler. Maybe one day I'll try it again, but for now, I'm satisfied that I was able to experience this map's plot with a bot.